this talk is about hobbies. Why hobbies? John 1, 3 through 4, through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. So God is creative, right? He made everything by his spoken word. Genesis 1:27, so God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. So we are creative too, because we're made in his image, right? Psalm 119:73, your hands made me and informed me. Give me understanding to learn your commands. You as an individual are from God's creativity. You are designed and created specifically. Now don't miss that. That was actually a revelation to me. So we always talk about how we're created in the image of God, but we never really think about how we are created. Like, it seems like so obvious, but I don't know. Really, is what a revelation is it's knowledge that you've had, all along. It's this obvious thing, and it doesn't become a revelation until God touches it, and it becomes a revelation. Like, we're created by God. Like, that's just so amazing to me. Like, it's so obvious. Like, but yeah. So you were designed and created specifically. Like, he had you in mind as he was creating you. Specific talents and gifts, everything. Psalm 139:1. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. So he knows everything about you. So a few verses after that in Psalm 139:13 through 16 says he designed you to be unique. Psalm 139:13 through 16. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Psalm 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. So all creation glorifies God. Psalm 97:6. The heavens proclaim his righteousness, and all peoples see his glory. So how do animals and other created things glorify God? It comes by doing what they were created to do. We glorify God in our hobbies, right? So he created us specifically per design. We're all unique. We have specific, unique talents and gifts. And when we express and manifest those gifts in a hobby, we're actually glorifying God. But unlike animals, we have a choice to either do what we were created to do or not. Animals just be animals. Us humans, we have a choice whether or not we're gonna do what it is we were created to do or not. 1 Samuel 15:22. But Samuel replied, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. So it's actually obedience to be creative. We glorify God in our obedience. Our creativity is worship. Also, we are not supposed to be idle. Ephesians 5:15 through 16. Be careful then how you live, not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Like, I have a talent for art and painting and whatnot. I originally went to college to be an art teacher. I really don't use that gift as much as I should. I painted like twice since college, and that was like 20 years ago. One, a mural I just did last year for my son on his wall. Another for some gals who were friends with my cousin Chrissy, who died from cancer. I had painted them a Wonder Woman. Outside of that, I haven't really painted too much, and it's a shame because God gifted me with that talent. So I'm in a kind of disobedient. No, I'm straight up. I'm in disobedience by not doing that. So right now I'm feeling the heavy conviction of the Holy Spirit like come over me, just heavy, like, whoa, I need to do something about that. So yeah, also we are not supposed to be idle. Ephesians 5:15 through 16. I read that. Well, I'll read it again. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Yeah, we're not supposed to be idle. But be sure not to let your new hobby become an idol. And be sure to rest and take a Sabbath. Now, some people have troubles with the Sabbath thing or resting thing. Myself, I'm all the way on the lazier side of things. I'm a slacker at heart. I could go 7 days a week without doing much if I didn't have a job. Like, well, I was furloughed for 6 months last year due to COVID. Man, that 6 months... Yeah, that was gold. Like, that was some of my favorite 6 months of my whole entire life since I was 16 and started working. It was sweet. But yeah, we're called to work. The very first thing that God asked Adam to do after he was established in the garden was to tend it and to care for it. Get to work. So, but yeah, don't let your hobby become an idol. The reason we're taking up a hobby is to replace a bad habit, right? Well, if your new hobby that was meant to replace this bad habit becomes an idol, then yeah, sure, you were delivered from drugs and alcohol, but now you're making an idol out of, I don't know, what could a hobby be that you could make an idol out? Well, you can make an idol out of any hobby, but so yeah, just don't do that. Exodus 23. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Don't make a hobby an idol. Exodus 28 through 10. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall do no work. Alright. So, all that, and then this. Bless people with your hobby, right? What are ways you can bless people with our hobbies? So I wrote down some hobbies, and they're ones that just instantly I can think of ways that these hobbies that seem to be for yourself can bless other people. Knitting. Afghans become family heirlooms, and they bless generations. That's massive. You knit a little sweater for someone who just had a baby, they don't get rid of that sweater. That sweater goes inside of a chest, and it goes in the attic for years, right? You don't get rid of that stuff. Mittens or booties for a baby, man, that stuff is like gold. You really bless the living daylights out of somebody for generations when you gift people with knitting. Painting? Man, I take it back. So I guess I painted 3 things since college. I painted somebody a cross and gave that to somebody when I was freshly born again. She expressed that I just blessed her with that. Like, I'm positive she still has that. Well, I guess I'm not positive. I'm going to ask her. We'll see. But yeah, painting, music. How blessed are you when you turn on KTIS or that new radio station, Boost FM, 29.9 or 92.9 or whatever it is? Man, I remember when I was first born again, listening to Christian music was really a very difficult transition, going from what I used to listen to. But, man, once I finally was turned and I started to enjoy Christian music, I'm so blessed by it. Every time they mention the word Jesus, which used to annoy me, I was like, okay, yeah, we get it. It's a Christian song. You have to say Jesus so many times. Now when they say the word Jesus, I'm just like, wah! Just like, bam! It's just amazing. Write somebody a poem, how blessed would they be? Hunting and fishing, I mean, you take your kids hunting and fishing, you go hunting and fishing with your parents. That's a huge thing to bless somebody with. It's a relational blessing. Jewelry, how blessed would you be if somebody made some jewelry and gave it to you? I mean, that's awesome. Baking, there's a gal on the production team, Emily, who brings in baked goods every Sunday. I can't tell you how much of a blessing that is. We're all just tickled when she brings in her baked goods. Gardening, I'm blessed because my wife is an amazing gardener, where some people might have to pay for like bouquets from the florist. Sometimes I come home and there's flowers clipped from the garden. It's just beautiful and it just blesses the living daylights out of me. Canning, my wife just got into canning. She was actually able to barter for a trade from somebody else. She gave him canned fridge pickles. But yeah, gifting somebody with canned goods, that's awesome. And so I was just thinking of some other, what other things could be considered hobbies, like a small group. If you go to a small group and you just love small groups, could that be considered a hobby or a Bible study? I think so, sure. That certainly glorifies God, What other positives are there about hobbies? Maybe making extra money. New friends group. I know when I got sober, that wouldn't have happened unless I would have completely ditched my old friend circle. Friends, right? You meet friends in a Bible study or a small group, those people are legitimate friends. They will catch your grenade for you and give you the sweater off their back. Some hobbies would have exercise built into them. If you're going to the gym as a new hobby, or running, or whatever else. Learn new things. That's a positive. New hobbies challenge yourself, and when you are successful after some time practicing and you finally get it, that's rewarding. So that boosts your self-confidence, Simply by not doing bad habits that you did before is a positive, right? So yeah, replace your bad habits with a new hobby. Meet some new friends, glorify God, be in obedience. You're doing what God created you to do. You're worshiping God in that. Man, that's a win, 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 win. So yeah, do that.